Any team that drafts Jimmy Horn is going to get a blessing.
Fastest speeds in the 2025 Combine, 19.81. Jimmy Horn Jr. Jimmy Horn just made himself a lot more money as he improves his 40 time, going from a 4.46, I believe, to down to a 4.35, 4.38. Today, we're going to talk about Jimmy Horn making some more money. We're going to listen to Deion Sanders talk about him at the Colorado Pro Day. Of course, Jimmy Horn Jr. himself has some comments after the Pro Day and improving that. We're going to watch him go through some drills. He had a dope catch that was, I think, really helped Shedeur and helped him. Big sky ball that he took over and did the backflips. It's going to be lots of fun, man. So appreciate y'all watching these videos. If you like them, leave a like. Dislike if you don't like them. Subscribe if you enjoy college football content. We do plenty of Colorado content, draft content, everything else in between. Now, I have proclaimed Jimmy Horn Jr. as one of the biggest draft sleepers regardless. I know we talk about Colorado players a lot here, but this is whether he was wearing a Colorado jersey, if he was just at South Florida, because I said he was at FAU in my last video, even if he was, just coming out of South Florida, I would think that he was still an underrated guy. So let's get right to it. Let's watch this 40-yard, and then we're going to go from there, watch him do some drills, do some 40s. Sorry, not do some 40s. Do some catch some passes, and then go right into Deion Sanders. Smooth. It's just smooth. And here's another angle. It's a little loud. It's a little loud. Here it is. Let's see what that start looks like. Bow. Hey, and he looks like he was slow out the start too. But when that boy gets sliding, you don't want to deal with that. 4.35, which is somebody from the East West Shrine Bowl. They clocked him out. So the official number, I believe, was in fact 4.40, which is still smooth. It's nice. It's going to get him a lot more money. Here's that 10.8 broad jump. That's smooth. That's clean. And then, of course, the catch of the day. I think a catch that made both of them a lot of money. Looking smooth, looking good. Boom. Grabs it in. And then, hits the backflip too. I got the full, the full view too. You feel me? Ugh. And Jimmy Horn is just too smooth with it. So let's start. First things first. Because Jimmy Horn, first of all, he did predict his time. He said back on NFL Network that he was going to be in 4.3s. He didn't get down to 4.3s, but he was close. He was like a 0.1 second off. But let's hear what Deion Sanders has to say specifically about Jimmy the Man Horn.
Because we've maximized our moments. You know how many people want to be sitting there holding the camera, want to be holding that mic, want to be shooting this, but God chose you because you maximized your moment. And you still ain't done because you have another level of elevation that God is going to introduce you to. So I'm proud of all y'all, not only our kids, because you maximize your moments, and that's what we teach.
Last one, Joe.
Hey, first of all, thank you.
My man.
I want to say this. I was up here 15 years. It was the most exciting spring. It wasn't like this before this game. And I just also want to thank you.
Thank you.
He said it wasn't like this before Prime came. Hey, we knew that.
Right with you on that. Hey, real quick, last one. Jimmy Horn Jr. played a big part in his life.
Yeah. Well, Jimmy Horn Jr. has played a big part in my life as well. I love him. I appreciate him. I admire him, his tenacity, his consistency, his endurance, what he brings to the table, just his smile. He's never jealous or envious of any of the other receivers or anyone on his team. And what this man has gone through is tremendous. It can be life-changing for many, but he's used it to catapult himself to the next level. Any team that drafts Jimmy Horn is going to get a blessing. And I mean that. And I'm proud of him, and I was reminding him that his dad is somewhere watching right now. Matter of fact, he's in his state. And I know he's proud of his son because his son is like that. I love me some Jimmy Horn and all these guys.
Hey, man, I want to say before we get into Jimmy Horn's comments, after the pro day and after everything, which I think is a very successful pro day. The broad jump was great. You shave a lot of time off your 40. You do a real 4.40. Hey, Deion Sanders, old Jimmy Horn call for that 4.4. But no, you get that 4.40. That's clean. That's solid. Everyone else has been raving about him even before this. So I think it's clear to say that he's had the best offseason of any Colorado player so far, right? You have the good combine. Even with the 40 time people were saying you had a great combine, you were linking the other teams, the speed, the East West Shrine Bowl. There were so many positives that were coming out from the Jimmy Horn camp, and to have this on top of it, and to have Deion Sanders, consummately just showing that support and obviously being there for him. Obviously, if y'all want a video about the real situation of his father in prison, all that thing, and his mother too. You get, hey, don't just tell the father story. You gotta tell the mom story too. I'm a mama's boy. I'm sorry. But in all reality, right? Like, this is Deion Sanders is impacting upon humans, impacting upon young men, and I think that we get so maxed into the world of wins and losses that it's easy to ignore. It's great right now after 9-4 season, but if that season goes bad or XYZ, like, people are gonna be back hating again. But no matter what, I want y'all to know that going 1-11, 4-8, 9-4, Deion Sanders continues to pour into these young people in an amazing way and be a great voucher for them as they move through life in these next levels. And hey, man, I don't know who else you would want in your corner besides Coach Prime talking like that. So let's hear Jimmy Horn's words after everything was said and done at the combine. Well, pro day. Have I been saying combine? My fault.
I had got it tatted for a reason because I manifested it. Like, when I got that tattoo, like, I already knew that I was destined to make it. I got a different mindset. The process, it just been a lot of work, just putting a lot of work in and being consistent with my grind, so I could come out here and perform the way I did. And not only perform here, perform at the next level too. Just staying consistent. It's gonna be the same thing.
Were you pleased with today?
Yeah, I was pleased, but I can still do better. I ain't never satisfied.
Hey Jimmy, what's it like having a mentor in Coach Prime?
It's good to have a mentor like Coach Prime. He teaches life lessons. Like I tell all the other interviewers, smart, tough, fast, disciplined, and with character. Them 5 characteristics in life will take you a long way. And just the lessons he teach you is valuable, and it's an asset to your life.
What's it like? I mean, I know your dad's got to be really proud of you. What's the conversation like with him?
What's the conversation like with my dad?
Yeah.
Me and my dad, we have a good conversation. I ain't about to tell you what we talk about, though.
He said, you ain't getting my dad's conversation.
Yeah, I done talked to Zay. Zay over there somewhere. Zay come show support. I'm going to do the same for him if roles switch, so. And Zay just tell me, like, go out there and be yourself. This like second nature, You've been doing this your whole life. It is no need to go out there and panic and just try to be somebody else you're not, but just go out there and be yourself and have fun. That's really all he got to say to me, That's all he say to me, nothing else.
Hey Jimmy, what are some of the things that you would bring to an NFL franchise?
First, like, me as a person, my character, like, I'm a humble guy, smart and real creative. And then, like, on the field, I'm a dog, and I could bring a lot, special teams, receiver, blocking, just about everything, and I'm fearless, for real.
How special is it to play alongside Travis during the rest of the guys?
It's real special, It's been a pleasure to play with them guys, It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I'm glad I made the right choice to come here and play at Colorado with them guys. I was supposed to go to Jackson with them, but I ended up going to USF and stuff. But it's a pleasure, God working good ways, So everything happened for a reason.
Do you feel like you're taking away from your long experience, specifically at Colorado?
What I taken away, I learned a lot of things out here, just being able to get a lot of time to myself and just see, like, really observe the world and see everything for how it is. I done learned a lot of things. I like to read and stuff on my off time now. So I feel like the things I do off the field help me on the field. For real. Nah, it was just in the moment, I was feeling a little groovy, so I just had to pull something out my bag.
Talking about that backflip.
What Nicky was talking about. I remember 2 years ago, second weekend, you got a huge rivalry game for a school you don't know nothing about. And you've got, what did you say? I don't know about red, but I don't like it or I hate it or something like that. Now, 2 years later, what does Boulder mean to you? Because that was a big jump to come here, even though it was Coach Prime.
Boulder is like my home now. I done been here for 2 years. You know, I get great love wherever I go when I'm out here, and everybody like respectful. It's a peaceful environment. You know, I wouldn't mind living up here in my afterlife. If I'm done with ball and stuff, I might end up moving up here and retire, moving the mountains somewhere.
Jimmy, since you stepped on campus, you spent a lot of time at this facility working with you. Did today mean just maybe the last time you guys were able to throw in this facility and just kind of take it all in? How did you kind of go about that?
Today, you know, I ain't gonna say I'm not an emotional guy for real, but today it just felt different. You know, I just felt good coming out here and being on the field with my brothers for the last time. You know, ain't no telling how it's gonna be when I go to the next level. Maybe me and Shador end up on the same team, but I know like as for right now, it's gonna be the last time I like really get to catch a ball from him and stuff like that. So it just been a pleasure, man. You know.
But John Taylor was saying that NFL teams have been stressing special teams a lot to him. And has that been some conversation?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you will provide an impact on special teams?
Yeah, facts. Like that's my first mindset. Like whatever I got to do, you know. So special teams, like that's second nature to me too, you know. And I love doing it, so it ain't no problem with me, you know. So.
I know you're eager to return some punts last year.
Oh yeah.
Last year didn't get a ton of chances. I mean, if that's a chance to send you to the next level, how excited would you be to get a chance to return one? I know you're eager to a lot last year.
Come on, now. I man. Anytime I get a chance to take a ball out, I'm gonna bring it out.
Come on.
So, but I'm real eager and happy to get opportunity.
Awesome. When
I get the chance, you know, I'm gonna shine, and I'm gonna take advantage of the opportunity.
Absolutely.
A lot of them, they just say keep doing what I'm doing. You know, I could be used as a gadget guy. You know, special teams be like the first thing for sure. Like they gotta let you know, and then I just let them know like I'm coming in to work. You know, I'm gonna find my way out there. Just gotta stay humble. They got a pretty good receiver room, you know. I feel like I'm gonna get a little competitor right now. I feel like we had the best receiver room, you know. But they got some guys in there that could step up and fill in our shoes and keep the program going up.
I love to hear that, man. And I want to watch one more video to end this, and it's a video that I wanted to watch on my last Jimmy Horn video. I was talking about how he was a stealer, whatnot. And before we do that, I want to read through these stats, right? So Jimmy Horn. I might have said the wrong number. I'd be saying names and doing everything. So Jimmy Horn brings elite speed and suddenness. This is about real analytics. An 83.5, 85 percentile IGA score, twitchy, explosive, and dangerous after the catch. A true field stretcher with a game-breaking potential, right? The fastest speeds in the 2025 Gauntlet Drill at the 2025 NFL Combine was 19.81. Guess who that was? Jimmy Horn Jr. So kind of like I was alluding to when we looked at the 40 time before I want to, go into this video, which I think is kind of cathartic in where we have right now, is the fact that Jimmy Horn is he's a special talent, right? There's a special amount of speed, amount of tenacity, amount that comes with him. And when we watched him in the 40, you saw him kind of with that slow start, but then you get when he's sliding, right? And there's a certain level, a certain era, a certain type of player that just when they have that ball in their hand, when they have that game speed, they run even faster. And I think Jimmy Horn is that explosive type of guy to do that. And any NFL team is going to be able to really benefit off that. I think a lot of people have been drawing comparisons to Tank Dell. Now, while I, as a Texans fan, look at Tank Dell as a different player than Jimmy Horn is, I think Jimmy Horn is more of that true gadget guy, getting him in space and get him going, whereas Tank Dell was a field stretcher more so. But I do think they can do some of the similar things, though, right? I don't think that Jimmy Horn can't stretch the field, and I don't think that Tank Dell can't be more gadgety, right? But I think Jimmy Horn's got that better contact balance. So I think getting end arounds and doing more drags and stuff that just might be closer to the line of scrimmage might have him faced in matched up with linebackers, for instance, right? I think those different things in different scenarios might lend themselves more to a Jimmy Horn than it is a Tank Dell. But still, the build's similar, the twitchiness is similar, the explosiveness, right? The ability to be quite productive in multiple places. Remember, Tank Dell was a JUCO guy. Shout out to Last Chance U. And then you have Jimmy Horn too, who seems to find ways to be explosive no matter where he's at. I think he's going to, like Deion Sanders said, bless a team, bless an offensive coordinator who might have some woes around the red zone. I'm gonna keep saying it. I think not only with the evolution of the way receivers are, we're seeing a lot more of these 5'10s to 6'2s and these little, I wouldn't say middle heights, but not giant guys, right? And I think what that does is, I think it opens up the Rolodex of how do I attack red zone, which has been one of the most biggest struggles for one of these more modern offenses that, you know, haven't been able to run the ball as effectively in the NFL, right? And I think these smaller, shifty guys that can cut on a dime and cut in half, right, is going to unlock that ability to get these DBs in man, get these DBs in space, or get these DBs overcommitted in a way that, you know, certain people can't. When you have that low to body frame like Jimmy Horn has, when you have the ability to get in and get out of breaks the way Jimmy Horn possesses and has shown for a long time, hey man, if you just know how to draw a play up, dog, I think you're gonna find great value out of Mr. Jimmy Horn. Now I want to watch this video just to end it off because I think it's a great I don't know, it's interesting. He's actually talking about the Cardinals player. I'm not sure if he's still with the Cardinals players, but Xavier Weaver making it from Colorado.
Hey,
shout out Zay.
Earlier, I said I'm gonna give you a big ass shout out. Shout out to my boy Xavier Weaver for the 53-man roster, bro. The boy earned that shit, man.
He did every day.
That shit, it ain't surprising to me. You feel me? I've been seeing you out there stepping. I've been seeing you doing your thing, bro. It's only due time, bro. Keep going, bro. Don't let up on the ad, brother. I'm gonna see you in the top, bro.
No cap.
I'm gonna see you at the top, and I had to try to silence that because the DJ Khaled was so long and it was so loud, but effective, man. Amazing and great to look at it now because you was talking to an NFL player, and it looks like by all accounts, from everybody's account, that Jimmy Horn is going to be a prominent part of an NFL team next year. So I really appreciate y'all watching these videos. Appreciate y'all supporting me on the Colorado Pro Day video. I know we did some live streams and different things like that. So like the video if you like it, dislike it if you don't like it. Subscribe if you enjoy college football content, draft content. We do a whole lot of Colorado Deion Sanders-ish content, draft stuff, combine, foosball news, NIL, transfer portal. We do all that fun stuff, man. So like the video if you like it. Did I already say that? Dislike if you don't like it. I did already say that, and I told you to subscribe. But did I tell you how amazing you are? I didn't need to because you know how amazing you are. Keep being great, and we'll see you next time. I appreciate it.